Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chairman and CEO of GE, John Flannery.
Good morning. Good morning. It's great to be with all of you at Minds and Machines. This is my first as CEO of GE. Love hearing Nipa's story. It's one of the many customer stories that we'll share with you over the next 2 days. Customer first in our environment here, including in the presentation sequence, so don't miss the message there. And that shout out for Thomas Edison always goes over in the big house, so thanks to Gil for that. So before we get started, I did want to just start and say our hearts and wishes really go out to the thousands of people who've been impacted by these incredible fires in Northern California. And the GE Foundation has made a gift of $250,000 to the American Red Cross to support the ongoing relief efforts. It's an incredible job they're doing, and we hope these contributions are helpful. So if there's one thing I hope you take away from today's session, tomorrow's session, it's this. A few years ago, just a few short years ago, the idea of a digitized industrial company was just that, an idea. No precedent, no playbook, concept. Today, this is a reality. We know this because we at GE, we've gone through a process of becoming a digitized industrial company. We always had high hopes for this. The more we see, the more we like it. We pursue this with a conviction and a passion like never before, and a focus like never before. So we are all in terms of digital. More importantly, perhaps, as you'll hear throughout the session, customers are seeing tangible benefits because of this transformation. So we know this digital transition is real. We also know in spades it is not easy. So one of the things I'll talk about today really is how we all can deliver on the promise of digital. And yes, it's hard, but it's also fundamentally an existential issue for industrial world. We need to get there faster than ever because it matters to the world. We are not talking about marginal changes around the edges. This is about quantum, meaningful improvement in industries and people's lives everywhere around the world. It's entirely new ways to power the world, heal the sick, build economies, move people and goods safely and efficiently. And it's important, it's about problems that can't be solved just by software alone. We need cohesive systems, things that include domain expertise, services approaches, deep understanding of hardware, physics, how things are built, deep understanding of markets, governments, regulatory environments, deep understanding of leadership, change management inside companies. This is hard, incredibly important, very hard. The good news is GE knows how to do hard things. That's what we've done for 125 years. Thomas Edison's lab painstakingly tested 1,600 different materials before finding the right filament for a light bulb. One of the most consequential inventions the world's ever seen. I'm sure they would have appreciated some machine learning back in the day for that. 30 years ago, in GE's labs, engineers developed magnets 30,000 times stronger than the Earth's magnetic field. Those magnets went on to become the MRI machine, which has allowed doctors to see inside the human brain. And that has transformed medicine in amazing ways. So if you think about that leap from a magnet to an MRI, and apply that to the challenge and opportunity that we have today. We're taking on the total transformation of industry. A new kind of industrial revolution. It's happening, you heard from Gil, at an unprecedented scale, unprecedented speed. So it's no longer enough about building incredible machines. The company that just builds machines will not survive. We need to build an integrated ecosystem, one that's made up of machines, but people, software, supply chains, totally integrated, driving towards a common goal, and that has to be higher productivity and better outcomes for customers. Improving customer outcomes is the ultimate scorecard here. It's really the only scorecard here. When we think about the industrial company of the future, it's still going to build machines, but these machines are going to have a capacity to sense, predict, respond with greater speed and insights than anybody ever imagined. The industrial company of the future is going to use new tools like additive manufacturing, a whole network of 3D printers, transforming manufacturing, making products that are more efficient, much stronger, much less expensive. It's going to add key elements to its toolkit, including artificial intelligence, augmented and virtual reality. And it's going to change the way people work. It'll throw out the traditional workforce paradigm and evolve towards a gig economy that engages the best internal and external global talent in a dynamic roles. It's going to be very different. Every employee will have a basic understanding of coding. Every job will be augmented by software skills. So this notion of the digital industrial company of the future, this is how we are reimagining GE. This is what we wake up and crave every morning. Because we're living this transformation, we know what it takes to deliver results. And we know that no one company or individual can transform an industry alone. It requires a totally new kind of partnership. But before we get into the how of conquering this challenge, we want to take a moment and really understand the scope of the challenge, or it's something we call the digital gap. So today we're unveiling new research shows quite a wide gap between what we know is possible in the digital industrial space and the concrete steps that companies are actually taking to make this transformation a reality. We all think we're on a path to get there very quickly, but our learnings suggest otherwise. It's one thing to want a digital transformation, that's step one. It's quite another thing entirely to actually do it. So we talked to key decision makers across industry and learned a lot of things. They're facing tremendous cost pressure, may not have the capital they need to invest in transforming their organizations. They also don't believe they currently have the in-house skills that they need, the technologies they need to drive change. And just a couple of points I thought were most relevant from this research. Right now, the vast majority of companies, over 85% of the companies out there, see digital transformation as absolutely critical to the future of their companies. That said, only 13%, 13% say they have a digital transformation plan in place. So clearly, there's quite a gap here, digital gap here. 85% say this is critical, 13% feel good about where they are. So it's a journey. Like any journey, bridging this gap begins with small steps. Steps can help you build the right capabilities, help you move in the right direction. Big message today, we are ready and willing and eager to be your partner in this journey. And here's what that means. Over the coming days, we'll provide you with blueprints to help you. We'll share examples of strategies that you can adapt to get more out of your industrial asset, your plant. These offerings are going to help you measure your return on investment. They're going to improve business returns. And we'll walk you through specific technologies that will help you bridge the skills gap. We know we can help you accelerate your transformation because we have been through it, we are going through it ourselves. And I've seen this firsthand for the last 3 years while I was running our healthcare business. We learned a lot along the way. We know it takes culture change, skills development, and technology implementation to transform businesses and scale the operation. We know we need to lead here where we're strong. So going forward, GE is going to have a very focused digital strategy. We're going to prioritize our go-to-market in 2 key areas. First, our resources are going to focus heavily on what we call our verticals, leveraging what we know and what we do best in energy, in oil and gas, aviation, healthcare, transportation, mining. This is the wheelhouse of GE. In addition to that, we're going to continue to work with our customers to address their adjacent markets and other industrial categories. But we're going to be more selective in doing that directly and do this largely through partners. Partners are going to be a key pillar of our digital strategy going forward. So here's what that looks like in practice. For customers, it comes down to a complete integrated asset strategy, understanding how assets fail, ensuring that key activities like maintenance, inspections, overhauls, they're in place and ready to mitigate the risk of failure. By connecting engines, rigs, plants in the field with APM, you can then implement digital twin models of these assets. And once you've done that, these digital twin models allow you to continuously monitor emerging threats, proactively manage risks, predict and prevent failure, optimize your overall asset strategy. And we know that translates into results: minimize downtime, optimize costs, reduce risk, better safety, improve productivity for your service team. The proof is there. It also frees up a lot of resources and investment for other things. It is a complete game changer, and that is why we built Predix. So Predix underpins a suite of applications, from asset performance management to field service transformation and beyond, and they allow us to go from data to insight to action to outcome. Our customers are getting real results. We're going to share that with you through that, and it's on the backs of our customer success that we're gaining traction. GE has seen 100% growth year over year in orders for our Predix-powered offerings. So let me share 3 examples with you of this in play in real life. First, Australian airline Qantas asked us to help them increase their operational flexibility, fuel efficiency, reduce carbon emissions. These are big things in their industry. Together with Qantas, we took more than 10 billion data points and fed them into an application built on Predix that could identify fuel efficiency gains, offer operational insights to pilots. And that app, which is called Flight Pulse, was the first mobile application developed 100% on Predix. With Flight Pulse, pilots can see their own flight data, their own behaviors on their iPads. They can track best practices. They can change how they behave. And the results are huge. Last year, Qantas realized a 1% reduction in fuel spend as a result of the work they did with GE. 1% may not sound like much to you. In the airline industry, that is enormous. That's equal to 30 million kilograms of fuel. It's a major, major number in that industry. This year, this Flight Pulse app has been rolled out to now 1,700 pilots. And with the addition of those pilots, they've already doubled that amazing number from last year, year to date. So the driving force behind this transformation, time and again, data. When you have data, you can put it to work. You get insights, you change behaviors, you deliver results. Next example, Port of Los Angeles, largest container port in the world. Maybe home to the World Series champion. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out this week. But over 9 million containers going through this port a year, carrying goods vital to the nation's economy. For GE itself, the Port of LA is a critical part of our supply chain. GE Transportation's locomotives provide connectivity between the port, customers and consumers across the country, including us, sending, receiving goods. A slowdown of just one shipment can congest the entire port and create a bottleneck that impacts everyone's supply chain. So here's how we're partnering with the port to make these efficiencies a reality by taking the shipping process from incredibly paper-based to digital. Great, so let me just make real what we just saw here. By integrating data from literally dozens of sources, shipping lines, railroads, trucking companies, into one common portal, we provided visibility to all players in the shipping process and accelerated their visibility, widened their visibility from 2 days to 2 weeks. This is massive. And the results, all parties know what's coming, what's going, when. It has been a complete game changer to the throughput of this facility. Container volumes are at a record high at the Port of LA. And this digital solution, as you saw in the video, it's driving productivity, improving the flow of goods by 8 to 12%. A massive number on a mature operation. And the last example I'd like to share with you is one of our customers, Hubco. Hubco is a power company in Pakistan, supplies about 10% of the country's electricity. Pakistan is facing a 4 gigawatt power shortage. More than 140 million people in Pakistan, almost half the population of the US, have no power or suffer through 12 hours of blackouts every day. And Hubco and GE have a shared vision, a simple vision, compelling vision, provide affordable, reliable, sustainable power in Pakistan. Their vision is to increase production from 1,500 megawatts to 5,000 in 5 years. That's a huge ramp. They have a facility that's fueled with very expensive furnace oil, a diesel engine plant in need of reliability improvements. They've got big aspirations, big challenges. We're deploying digital solutions, including operations optimization, APM. These things are optimizing Hubco's operations, their assets, reducing downtime, improving efficiency. 3.5% efficiency gain. Again, in the power industry, that is a massive number. $20 million of savings per year in fuel. So these improvements are enabling Hubco to invest more in growing their business and delivering more power to the people of Pakistan. We could not be more proud to be associated with Hubco. So now what? What should you expect going forward? This is ultimately all about you. Every day we listen to your feedback and we're working on products that address the digital gap that we both see together. I talked about that earlier. So today we're announcing a few of those products. You'll hear about this in greater detail from all of my colleagues over the next 2 days, but I'll provide you just a quick overview of some of the solutions and we're offering to help you and your teams bridge the digital gap. First, you already have been introduced to APM. That's the core application we have for driving value from your assets. We've now developed and refined an important complementary application, and that improves the overall performance, not just of a specific asset, but of your related assets. Things like pumps and valves and heat exchangers, the broader footprint of a manufacturing or operating environment, and that drives really the ability to have a comprehensive asset management strategy. This new application is called Operations Performance Management, powered by Predix. Second, Predix Studio is a toolkit that just makes it easier for your developers to build applications on Predix in a low-code, highly productive environment. Essentially, we're taking the heavy lifting out of application development in an industrial setting. And so with Predix Studio, your employees on the front line can ramp up developing apps for APM without hiring and waiting for specialized IT staff. It just creates overall a much faster, much more efficient, much more energizing experience for customers. And then lastly, as we all know, nowhere is edge computing more important or more relevant than in the industrial world. These days, it seems that everything is an edge device. Your watch, your car, even your shoes. But for the industrial world, this is real and it's critical. The assets are the edge. Engines, rigs, plants, real things, critical infrastructure. And these assets need to be connected and allow real-time safety and productivity decisions to be made. So in this environment, having the right answer or interesting analytics too late is maybe interesting, maybe not even that, but essentially it's useless and sometimes quite dangerous. Predix is the only platform built as an edge-to-cloud computing environment for industrial applications. Only GE really understands the complexity and the differences around the settings for these assets. Security issues, data governance, regulatory requirements operating in these spaces. So today we're announcing enhancements to our Predix Edge offering, including complex event processing at the edge and edge management enhancements for better scale, better provisioning, stronger security. And then finally, when you compute at the edge, you need to connect to the cloud. And last year, we announced a strategic partnership with Microsoft to deliver Predix on Azure. Today, I'm pleased to announce that Predix on Azure is available on public preview. It'll be generally available on November 30th. Azure is a preferred cloud partner for Predix, and with the release of Predix on Azure, we will be providing customers the ability to leverage the power of Microsoft Cloud. Over the next 2 days, we'll share more about these other offerings that we have designed to help bridge the digital gap. I think you're going to love the show here. The company I joined 30 years ago, August 1987, that company made machines that made the world better. We're still that company, but the world has changed unbelievably. The industrial world has to change with it. To solve some of the biggest problems in the world, you have to solve the whole problem. It's not just the machine. It means digital solutions that connect the hardware, the services, create new business models. Everything's different now. Digital can't just be a side project run by the IT department. It's a wholesale transformation of companies made up of machines, people, software, supply chains, fully integrated, completely driving towards a common goal. So collectively, we know from experience and effort, we have the industry expertise and scale. We have it in this room right now, customers, partners, GE, developers. We have the expertise and scale to close this digital gap and deliver on the promise that we see coming forward. I look forward to doing this with you. GE is here to support you.